had an entire midlife crisis after watching this film. I had to sit back and wonder, am I living and fulfilling the purpose of my life? Hey everyone, it's Sharona from Pay or Wait, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Disney Pixar movie Soul, which hits the Disney Plus streaming platform this Friday. This film stars Jamie Foxx, Tina Fey, and is directed by Kemp Powers, Pete Docter, as we center around a musician who has lost his passion for music as he is transported out of his body and must find his way back with the help of an infant soul learning about herself. So for those of you who are new to my channel, welcome, hello, so glad you came, I hope you stay. I tell you what I enjoyed about the film, what I didn't like about the film, and is it worth your time watching or not on Disney Plus, because there is a lot of titles, a lot of content, and not enough time to watch it this week. So going into what I enjoyed about Soul, and first and foremost, I really want to give kudos to Pete Docter, Kemp Powers, and also Mike Jones. I'm so sorry, like not that Mike Jones, but his name was Mike Jones, so I really couldn't help myself but do that. But I love the writing in this film. This film touches on so many themes that is important for people of all ages. When we talk about what is our passion, what is our purpose in life, and how do we find that spark to help us know like why we were put on this planet. And I love how we explore that through Joe's character and also 222 as they're getting to know one another, but through their relationship, through their friendship, they also learn so much about themselves. And I think that it's something that I needed to hear because, you know, as someone in my juncture in life, since I've had 15 million midlife crises after watching this movie for 3 times in the past 3 weeks, I love that it encourages you to really look deep within yourself to make sure that you understand where your purpose is and are you living it, are you fulfilling it, and what does it look like? And that's something that I needed because that's what I've been going through as I've been, you know, making my juncture through the entertainment industry. And I think that is a relatable message that everyone can take something from it. But I think that is very ambitious of a message to attempt in a film like this for an animated film. And I think that a lot of people are going to be like, whoa, like I didn't know we were getting deep like this in this film. But I think it's a movie that's really going to stick with the audiences. And I think that is such a cool and interesting concept to really start children off young. I think it's something that you really don't think about until you get older in life. And I think that is so fantastic that we're starting to have kids movies like this where we continue to challenge young people to think deeper. So I think that everyone will really get a kick out of the messaging. But even though we're dealing with a deep message, they really do a great job of balancing the tone of the film as a whole. It looks fantastic. It makes you want to smile. The color palette, the blues that are coming out as we meet 22 and we meet the other people in the great beyond. I'm not going to go too deep into spoilers because the trailer is very vague as to what you're going to experience. And I will say, when I get into some of the things that I didn't like, you really won't know what is going to hit you, but I think that it looks absolutely gorgeous to look at. To see these Black characters on screen, to finally have a Pixar film that has a Black, you know, character as the focal point of the story, I think is absolutely fantastic. And how they bring these characters as we get to meet people in Joe's life from family and friends is so great to watch on screen. But really the realism that this world that Joe is thrust upon, I think that it looks really fantastic on screen. But as I was saying with the message, there is such a heavy topic that I do think that they did a really great job balancing the tone. It never feels too heavy. It never feels too deep. It never makes me like overly emotional, but it does a really great job of adding comedy in at the right points. There are some funny moments. Like I was sitting there laughing. I remember I played this for my godchildren and their mother, and she was laughing. There's some really good jokes, especially if you're history buffs. They have a lot of fun in this world that 22 and Joe are thrust upon in a portion of the film. But also too, what I would like to say is I think Tina Fey and Jamie Foxx, they do a fantastic job with their voice work as well. I really think the cast as a whole, I love the different characters that they bring. I think that from a voicing standpoint and an animation standpoint, it continues to show why Pixar is so freaking good at what they do. Now, even though I have a lot of things that I did enjoy about Soul, one of the main issues that I had with the film is it felt misleading. When I saw the word soul, I thought it was going to be all of this music. You know, our main character, he's this jazz musician, he's a piano player, and I thought that I was going to get a lot of songs, but I didn't, and I felt like it was such a letdown. There is jazz music in here. I don't want to make you think that you're not going to hear any music, but I just thought that it would be more, it would be a better balance between music and the plot of what is happening in the story. And also too, to have someone like Jamie Foxx, who is so talented, who can act, who can sing, he can do anything, to not have him grace us with his beautiful angelic voice, I felt like it was a disservice to the film. Like, I thought I was gonna get me a little bit of Jamie's voice in here as well. And so I don't know if for those of you who might think that you're going into thinking that this is gonna be like a full out musical type of film, or you're gonna get a lot of those, you know, you're going to get those songs that you will hope for, this isn't the film for you. I'm just letting you know. But also too, and this is going to go back into a pro, but go into my con. As I was talking about from a representation standpoint of this being one of the first Disney Pixar films that centers around a Black lead, I wanted more of that world. And I think because it's a little bit misleading because we're kind of thrust into two different worlds, and it'll make more sense once you actually watch it. But there's a scene that really stood out to me, and there's a scene that takes place at a barbershop. And I've never felt so seen in an animated film, especially if you're a part of Black culture. You know what it's like to go to a hair salon, to go to a barbershop. I remember my brother used to pick me up from school, and I would have to go with him to get a haircut. I was just like, I can't believe that I'm watching a barbershop scene in a Disney Pixar movie. And it was so touching, just as a Black person, to be able to see that on a screen, to when I'm playing this for my 1-year-old and my 3-year-old godsons, that they can see a bit of the culture because they go to the barbershop. But I think that's what made me miss having more of that Black culture in the film, because we don't focus so much on Joe's world, we really lose that in the film. And I really wish that that was something that they would have paid a little bit closer attention to. I know given the topics that they're dealing with, that might have been hard, but because the barbershop scene hits so nicely, because the interactions with his mom as a Black person, being able to see that, I just wish that there was more of it. But really, other than that, I had a good time watching Soul. Like I said, I've watched this movie 3 times. I've had a midlife crisis. They have helped me fix my life, put it back together again, tear it apart, then put it back together again after another viewing. I think that this is something fun for the entire family to watch. I think that anyone of different ages will be able to take something from this film, and it will be something that will sit with them, you know, days or weeks, you know, like me, after watching this film a couple of times. So I would tell you that it's definitely worth your time watching Soul when it hits the Disney Plus streaming platform tomorrow on Christmas Day. So those are my thoughts on the film Soul. As always, my name is Sharona from Pay Or Wait, and if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit that notification bell. And I love you guys 3000, and until I see you again, bye.